Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Suman Rahim here, Messenger of Covenant, breaker 7 seals. Brothers and sisters, special presentation again. One was prepared for yesterday, but had distractions, so getting special today, getting two for one, so to speak. Anyway, fear. You have to understand the anatomy of fear. What drives fear? Fear is primarily loss of control. The more control you lose, and they lose control of us, so fear is coming upon them. We lost control of ourselves. We was in great fear for hundreds of years, and they were the objects or the promoters of that fear. And fear is about to grip America by the throat. It's not going to let go. Great fear. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. Mathematics of force. See, force, the mathematical language of force is vectors. You also apply the pressure, but when they talk about pressure, you used to talk about tensors. What tensors is a vector nature. That's no all together. We want to just focus on vectors, right? But this fear, it has something to do with this war. It's about this in the progress. Actually, the war actually started with the abomination of desolation. It just hasn't kicked into phase 2 yet. The war broke out in heaven. Then Michael's angels, that was second phase, goes to war with the dragon and his angels. That's what happened any day now. And that's what they can do to stop it. Let me say this, brothers and sisters, before I go on. I'll make a special presentation on this, but I decided not to do it. I talked about Nineveh's repentance in the previous one. About Nineveh, a great city. Now it says Babylon could have been healed, but it wasn't. What does that mean? That means for America to be healed, well, that's a good bad word in you because they can't be healed. It's cancer is too, right? But they can be prolonged. For America to be prolonged, immediately, right now, they have to leave the Middle East, leave Iran alone, walk away from the Middle East, pull their troops out of the Middle East, totally, just walk away. Number one. So, and I have, should I do this? Hold on, brothers. Give me a minute here. Because I was actually going to make a video and I changed my mind. I do have a video here. So let me go and find it real quick. That's not there. Okay, maybe I do one more place. Oh yeah, it is right there. Oh boy, I see. This is kind of unwieldy here because okay, I got some basic points here. Did have to do his after attack. That's step number one. See, because that's the what's going to kill him. You need to walk away. Don't attack Iran's, leave it alone. And then secondly, they have to abandon false Israel, just believe that's part of it, right? And reveal to our people that they're true seed of Abraham. In other words, abandon falsehood to its fate. Because once those poor men anymore, they will close in on them and they'll be into them. And that comes into the second point where it tells exactly for my people who they really are. Okay? People who really are. See? And start the process of transporting us back home. Okay? This is their form of repentance. They have to do this immediately. They're not going to do it. See? And then, that's phase 2, right? If you phase 1, walk away in the Middle East totally. Leave it like ran alone, just totally alone, just walk away, get out of that. Right? And then and reveal the truth. Because false is going anyway. And let's depart. Let my people go. That's what Pharaoh was told to do. Let his people go. That was phase 2. Right? Then phase 3, get back to the law you was given. Law of Moses. Right? All that LGBT and all that stuff and all that transgender, all that stuff, get rid of all that stuff. Return back to the law that was given to you. Discipline, that's the discipline. See, because you need discipline to survive a little while longer. See? Survive a little bit into the spring, but you can't survive very far. But that'll keep you going maybe another 50 years. And then return the country back to the Native Americans. You have to start the process immediately. Turn the country back. And then last stage is take your ass back to Europe. That's the means of your repentance. You have to do this immediately. And that'll keep you alive around for maybe 50 years. Not very much longer. Otherwise, you probably won't last another 50 days. That's what you need to do, repent immediately. Okay? Immediately. But you're not going to do that. They'll say Babylon could be healed, it wasn't. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. But you're going to see this war, like I said, that war is your downfall. And it's not going to go like you want it. And so you're going to see something happen over there, the way it's going to turn out. Because it tells you the nature of it. The nature of what you see has to do with your power being broken over there. You're losing. That's the nature of what they see. You see, you're losing over there. And you're lost. What does that mean? Because what are you trying to win? What are you trying to protect over there? So you put these things together. You're trying to protect false Israel. That's what you're doing. So it means you lose that. False Israel was falling. So is that what's causing the shock? Because if that happens, that means it's going to affect something here. So if they go down, if that happens, the whole person, false Israel, they will keep us from understanding who we are. You see how this stuff fits together? Because if we find out who we are, then we become an army. That's their fear. And turn against them and then lead the country. See, put it all together, brothers and sisters? Let's move on, brothers and sisters. But he's the one. He's the prescription. He's the prescription. And you understand what he's doing. See, because they voting for fear. Remember, fear. Understand the nature of this thing. The fear of lost control. And so they hide it. And so you can't see it because you're blind. And he's doing these things right in front of your face and you don't see it. Because you don't have logic. See, most people think you're thinking. You're not thinking. Logic, think is about logic. And you don't have it. See, because they took that away from you. A school teacher, don't be logical thinking. See? Because you say, oh, well, I think me, I balance my checkbook and I go to work and I do. No, look, animals, they do things. Bees make honey. Do you think they think? Can you make honey? Birds make nests. You think they can think? They teach their birds how to fly. animals teach their birds how to, their children, how, their babies, whatever you want to call them, cubs, how to hunt. And they have to think these things true. You know, when a lion it goes to sneak up on a prey, it checks the wind. So it knows if the wind is a north wind, right? Then they see, how would I do that? They don't want to be on the north side of the animal. You see, because they do, then the animal's going to, the north wind is going to alert down by the scent that lines around. So they want to be on the, see how I say it, okay, here's a lion, say the lion's facing north, right? I mean, say that zebra's facing north, right? And there's a west wind, right? So the lion doesn't want to be on the west side of the zebra because the wind's going to blow on him and blow towards the zebra, and the zebra going to smell it, so he's going to know the lion's there. He want to be on the east side of it, so the wind's already past it and past. You know, how do you know that? How do the lion know that? Most you don't even know it. Can't discern the wind. How do you know that? They're not thinking. That's instinct. And our people not thinking because they did. Ain't no way in the world those people didn't follow Pharaoh. It's impossible. If they were thinking, it's impossible to hit fire. Have been Pharaoh count 5 seconds. It's impossible. They're not thinking. But you're going to think in a minute because, hey, they say when your stomach talks, it moves your mind. There's a song about that. I don't know the title of the song, that's an old one. When your stomach speaks, it moves your mind. Your stomach's about to speak. But that's how much going to make a move. See? And the only way you're going to get through tribulation is you're going to have to think. That's part of what may force you to start thinking. And think mathematically. But you don't think. So therefore, look what Trump's doing. Now what's the fear? He's gonna make America great. When was America great? Ask your questions. She only ask questions. When was America great? When it was ripping us, beating us, hanging us? When we was under control? That's when America was great. So that means that's part of making it great again, get under control. Get these niggas under control again. You see any black folks around him? They do that. They fools. Or demons. And then he says, okay, they caught him on a hot mic saying, Salvador, hey man, build about 15, 20 more prisons. How many people put in prison? 20, 30, 40,000 people? Well, that's 100. So it's, because we're going to put homegrown criminals. That means you. That means people was born here. Who's in the prisons? You. So they'll put you down there and you're coming back. See? That's going to save America money. Why we got to pay money? Niggas put all this money, pay niggas in prison. We send ourselves south and get rid of them. They're never coming back. You think he's not going to be able to sell that? He's already giving you appetizer with the immigrants. Remember, they ain't white, are they? So that's stage one. You know, you can soften you up. Say brown, right? If you can get brown, you can get black. See? And if people with him, they don't want you. They're afraid of you. They hate you. I told you, I explained it earlier. When you hate something, you change it 100%. They change us 100%. And you find these Negroes right there, fist bumping them and all this stuff. So are you out of your goddamn mind? Do you understand what these people did to you? And they still think that way now. The way they say good morning, nice, because they're trying to feel the same way they did when you was in the fields. Good morning to see your attitude. To see if you were still, if you were going to get some trouble today or not. How you know, nigga? I'm good, boys. You better say you're good or you're going to get your ass whooped. They was measuring your attitude. They're still doing it now. I don't speak to them. But I tell you myself, we go out walking, they say, I don't see them either. I just keep walking. One guy, I think it was last week, good morning. I kept walking. I said good morning. Well, you can say good morning how you want. I didn't say nothing. I kept on walking. I told her, see there? Why he back up? If he said I ain't said, he just left it alone. But he pushed it again. I said good morning. They tell you something right there. I never use that phrase anyway. Good morning was not the way they greet themselves before we put in the fields. That was a greeting sign for us to test what our attitude was, to make sure we wasn't going to jump up and attack anybody or try to run off or something. Yes, but it's good. How the hell was good morning? We was about to be out in that field. You only had an hour's sleep. Then you out there all day beating you, and they beating your ass, right? And raping your women. They had the women out there with no clothes on, picking cotton. So the evil taskmaster, whenever he felt the urge, he jumped off his horse and right in front of you, you better not say a goddamn thing. In fact, they freaks, they might rape you. Not freakish they are. You don't want to be caught being friendly with these people. But if you do that, I said, everlasting shame and appallment. So, to make America, we get you back to a time when America was great. When was that? You see? And then so, like now he's saying he wants to, the prisoners, and now he wants to take and make, he's trying to get through where he can use the military, because according to the Constitution, they cannot use the military on American citizens. Even though they're going to use a president, because that's Obama did it to American citizens that was over in the Middle East, and that was illegal. By saying that they're going to use that as a president, well, he did it. How can we do it? What does that mean? And then once they do that, then all the gloves come off. So they start calling you directly what you are, man, these niggas. And then all of a sudden you get mad, you start rioting. They're cutting your job and stuff right now. You understand what's going on here? What do you think they're doing? All these tariffs and stuff. That's really aimed at you. Because they're gonna have to cut people off. People ain't selling, they have to get. And who's gonna get rid of first? You. So now you're gonna get mad, start rioting. Now you're a criminal. Now they put your ass down in El Salvador for forever. You don't see it. That's it. Come to you as a snare. Because you ain't thinking. They do it right in front of your face and you don't see it. They're right in front of your face and you don't see it. This is what's going on here. And a lot more. He says, he's setting you up. It says it. The scriptures tell you clear. They're setting you up. And now he's more open with it. Because right now they're more desperate. Why? Because they're losing more control. They're more fear. And now they're about to go to war. They need to go to war. That's a long story, right? Let me say this quickly. America's America's bankrupt. $32 trillion in debt. You know what that means? If they pay 10% interest on that debt, that's what? That's $3 trillion a year in interest? How much money they get in tax? That means they ain't got any money. So it's print money. Money's worth nothing. That's why they killed Gaddafi and Saddam. They said, we don't want your money, we want gold. So they killed them because they know they couldn't do it. You understand? But why? Part of the reason they're going broke? Because they got to spend so much energy because it's harder and harder to control you. And look how much money it's costing them to keep false Israel up there, because that's false Israel's purpose of them, is to keep you from understanding who you are, keep you getting people that have vision perish. That should be a vision, so they give you a false vision. Oh, they the true seed of Abraham. And that costs a lot of money to keep going. All the money, look how much wars they had in the Middle East in the last 4 or 5 years, since 1990. All to protect false Israel. That cost them trillions of dollars. And the whole point is to keep you blind to who you are. It's harder and harder to do it. It's costing more and more money to do it. It takes energy to do it. Translate that to money. So that means lose control of you. And so at the point they see they can't control you anymore, then they try to kill you. They want to lose control. I mean, like say, a man's raping this woman, and she's raping, and he got all bound up and everything else. He don't want to get loose because he get loose, right? She might want to get some revenge, and she got right to get revenge. You might want some revenge, and the Bible said, doing them devil is done. I'm going to talk about that in a minute too. It's a whole lot to it. But that's what's going on here. So they're doing this to keep, all these other things he's doing. And so once I say he pull off the gloves, right? Bring those Indians over, do this, all this stuff. They made China great because they sent those jobs. They want you to have them. Now China's getting too strong for them. See? And so after a while, America's in trouble. But they can't tell you that. That's why the media's controlled. Tell you a story quick about Night Templar. I was telling my wife about this morning. I couldn't remember the name of that for nothing. Knights Templar. They made a movie about it. Knights Templar was like crusaders. They was like a monk crusaders. And they had a lot of money, so the King of France, I think was Louis, right? He was borrowing money from them to keep his economy going, but he borrowed so much money from them, and they said, we can't borrow any more money. The modern day banking system, everything else was designed by the Templars. Checks and all that kind of stuff, that was designed by them 400 or 500 years ago. That's a fact. Anyway, so, you know, I'm not going to go a lot of detail about it, but I'm not. So, you know, he could borrow more money from them, and he needed that money to keep the economy of France going. So he said, okay, well, let's get together. Let's all y'all get together, man. Let's get all your officials and everything. They should have saw that coming, right? Y'all come together. We have a big meeting. Bring all your officials and everything. And we have a meeting, and we're going to discuss this thing, see how we can work something out, right? So these fools, they bought all the officials and all their main people, right? And he locked them up in the room and burned them all up, killed them all. No more debt. Who's the big holder of America's debt? China. Why do they want to go to war with China? Because they go to war with China to win. America's not in debt anymore. And they're going to throw you in the river in that war. So got rid of you too. 2 for 1. Throw them in the river. So now Trump's made America great again. Got rid of niggas. And got rid of debt. Make America rich again. Make America great again. And you don't get it. They get it. They know what he's saying. But you don't know because you know how much Magic is, how many shots he made. And LeBron, man, oh, we're so cute on the basketball court. A goddamn monkey can play that shit. They gotta put monkeys out there with basketball. It'd be more fun. And you got your head way up there. That's where you're gonna be when they cut it off. If I tell y'all should come out every ways, and every 5 minutes they talk about. Remember a couple of saviors there? All they did, what was that guy? That basketball name? Started with a B or something, right? But almost all the saviors talking about him, the one that died, got killed. They're so full of shit over there. So you know all about all that stuff. Well, you could tell him it's 5 times 5 divided by 5 without a calculator. That says come on you as a snare. He's talking right to you. He's telling you what he's trying to do. Because so soon as he, you look, you ain't got no job, and then you're riding, and he's talking about you, and he's doing this stuff, and then you're riding, and now he can bring the military out on your ass now. He couldn't do that before. They're going to prove it. So now he can bring the military out. That means you don't go to a judge anymore. You go to the military tribunal. Which that's you don't even want to talk about that. And boom, they either execute your ass, send you back down to San Salvador, and the rest you throw it in the river in the war with China. Solve all these damn problems. That's what he's building up on. You hear Farrakhan talking about it? No, well, he ain't talking anything right now. Now these other clowns. None of them talking about it. They're all clowns. They're all liars. Either agents or fools or whatever. They're gonna pay a price for it. You don't get information like this anywhere, and it's totally accurate. I don't have to say in the name of Allah. See, you do that when you go and tell a lie. Because I say, well, see, and somebody say, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. You mean what? Honest before? Oh boy. Destroy the wisdom of the wise. You understand? It's very simple to understand these things. I'm going to get right to it. I said, listen to this, brothers and sisters.
Verses 16 and 17, and comes with all much land, great, rich, and poor, free and bond. What is the Bible say? Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 and 17, he causeth all those lying, poor, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the forehead, where the eyes reside, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Look at it. You can't get more obvious than what is the Bible say? Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 and 17, he causeth all those lying, poor, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the forehead, where the eyes reside, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Say, good job, brothers and sisters. You have no idea what you're talking about. And if you have any knowledge of INJIL, you know what I'm talking about. But if you didn't, you'd have to go along with it. See? That's the advantage of having knowledge of INJIL. But what you do with it? Okay, we're going to talk about vectors, brothers and sisters. Now, vectors is the language of force. Now, I'm trying to explain it as simple as possible, brothers and sisters. See this? It's A plus B, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So that's a triangle. You take a triangle and you square one side, and you square the other side, and you add them together. That's what it's going to equal. That's the way it works. I said very simple stuff. It's very simple. That's what it means. A plus A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's what it means. See? But triangle are vectors. See if I can show that to you. See here, here's a triangle. Remember? A squared, this side plus square equal that side. Let's look at it this way. See here? Just move it around. You get a vector. This, if you square this plus this, and you're going to take the square root of this, you're going to get how long this is. So now if you got a car going 90 miles an hour north, and you got a wind that's going 75 miles an hour west, then the car will be going northwest, and you can say how fast it's going and what direction it's going by doing that calculation. That's the calculator. That's how it works every time. Very simple. And if you don't understand vectors, you should be talking about vectors. It's not a clown show here. I'm not going to let anybody turn this into a clown show. That's what they got. That's what the Aaron would do. So now they say, see, he's Aaron. You're talking math here, science, no sensationalism, no conspiracy theories. You say, no, I'm not speaking conspiracy theories because the thing I talk about, I can prove it. And see here, now what I'm trying to show you is our situation in a vector language. Now we had low energy because of energy deprivation, and Adam had high energy because they reduced their structure. Mass times acceleration equals force. So the less mass you have, the more acceleration you're going to have. So if you reduce their mass, you increase their acceleration because everybody has the same amount of force. So force is 12, 2 times 6 is 12, 1 times 12 is 12, 3 times 4 is 12, 4 times 3 is 12, you understand? It's still 12. So if you say, okay, the structure is 1, the acceleration is going to be 12. So you move fast, you got a lot of energy to move around in. But if your structure is 12, you got low energy. Your energy is 1. You can move around a little slow, but you got better structure. Very simple. So that's what Dr. Shabazz did. Not Dr. Shabazz, Dr. Yakub did. Said, okay, let's lower their structure and increase their energy. So now they stripped down version. Butt gone, skin gone, eyes gone, got color gone, lips gone. See, strong that structure, but now they got a lot of energy. And he enhanced our structure, so now we got strong, the best structure we probably have, but no energy, because all the energy is in that structure. So why was that? Because you want to make that structure, you want to transfer that structure to the best it could possibly be. So in that situation over, you're the top dog, so to speak. I wish you say that, dog, top dog. I take that, race that one. You're the top. What's on the bottom needs to be on the top. It's simple. Complexer structure, the lower, because it's still the amount of force is equal. Everybody's the same amount. So you're gonna have less energy. The acceleration is the energy. So maximum structure, low energy. Minimum structure, high energy. So they had a lot of energy, so they could. But they got low structure. That means their thinking is weaker. That means they're gonna have weaker thinking. Maybe shed blood. They have weaker nature. This stuff is simple mathematics. But you don't understand. I told you these books are mathematics. So you pick a man, make me sure he got lower structure. But he got higher energy, he can rule. But you got higher structure, so you got to submit to that because you ain't going to have any energy. You're the angel, submit to it. If you don't submit to it, you're going to get your ass kicked. That's the jinn. Because they got the higher energy, you don't. So here we are. Up to time, they boys over here until the time that so-called Civil War would start getting, the universe start contracting, so energy start coming back. Momentum in heaven, earth, come about something, and then we start being energized. So the 12, where it was 12, now it goes up to 20, right? So now more energy, right? So now you have more. The devils have more, but remember they got those. But they got to maintain theirs because they have low structure. They have to have somebody keep telling them to discipline themselves because they don't have. They lost the natural ability to do that. So you got to send prophets to them. Now like that fool this morning was talking about. He don't have no idea what he was talking about. I don't even want to treat that. So here's us, low energy, right? At that time, during that period of time. But here's the devil got a lot of energy. Both of them are vectors, right? So how does that affect us? That guy's almost going the same direction as them, almost like them, right? Almost total control of us. They never had total control of us because we had some energy. They couldn't. They reduced, took our name right there. But they couldn't take our nature. They suppressed our nature, but they couldn't actually take it. See, they did it with the demons. That was a process of taking out nature. They got some demons, but they couldn't do it completely, right? That's what it was. Okay, so what next? Remember, every 50 years I said that happens, right? So probably 1860s, okay. That's before it. Now 1860s come when we start growing, right? Get energized. Now we got more energy, see? Devil's got the same amount, right? So now we got more energy that we could use. And so now, right? But they have less control. Okay? They still have to go in a negative direction, but not as bad as it was before. We don't have these shillings and all that stuff no more, and it's not easy to rape our women as much as it was for everything else, right? And then 50 years later, what happened? Now we got a lot more energy, right? Remember, it's so-called Civil War, and then Eurocentric in just during this period of time, right? Now what happened when they affected us then? See, now we have less, we move more right, more like we used to be. Because we have more energy now. So now it's Eurocentric, right? Marcus Garvey and so forth. Elijah by Master Muhammad. And then 1960s, 50 years later. Now we got a lot more energy. So they come. What's the effect of that? Whoa. Now, I'm black and I'm proud. Almost going Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, so forth, right? Them go more upright. It's still affecting, it's still more upright. But it happens all the time. Wearing afros. Some of you getting rid of your names. Shaka Khan. Getting rid of your names and stuff, right? They start losing control of you. You see? Then 50 years later, right? That's where we are right now. They got a lot more energy. Right? Boom. So what happens then? Oh, you almost upright. You not quite. We're almost there. Right? Then what happens? Now you get a little help. Bam! That's a covenant because, man, he neutralizes theirs because if you got one vector going this way, another going the opposite way, it's same, then it neutralizes, so it's like it's not there. So you got a wind pushing your car 50 miles westward, another one pushing 50 miles eastward, then it's had no effect because your car's not either way, you're going straight. So he come with, right, INJIL will counter and neutralize everything they said because it points at everything they say is a damn lie. It neutralizes it, and that, now you turn back gold, and you're going straight. See, that's just a mathematics of it. That's the help you get. To finish it off. To get the elect home and get the Levites through tribulation. That's what's happening, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand that. That's vectors. You can go and study vectors. I told you study vectors. They got some nice, easy classes on it if you pay attention. Here's us again. Here's them. And now the guy's going direction. And see, when you understand vectors, you know Farrakhan's a goddamn liar. Because who would you blame in the situation? You blame the car or you blame the wind for going in the northwest direction? You blame the wind, not the car. Farrakhan said, us. He blames us. Why we're wicked. No. It's the effect they have on us. That means they're the wicked. If the wind is blowing, if the leaves are sitting there and there's not moving, ain't no wind blowing. You see them start moving, you know the wind's blowing. You can't see the wind, but you know the wind's blowing. And you know the nature of the wind by the way the way the leaves are shaking. So you don't blame the leaves. The way they're shaking tells you the nature of the wind. So the way we act and tell you the nature of the people that's affecting us. They're wicked. They're the hoes. They're the dogs, the creeps. That they blame on us. That's the effect they have on us. And so you blame them, not us. But Farrakhan says us, that shows he's one of them. Because he is, his father's the devil. When you're a people, to the devil, they was your people. Biology said if your father's a devil, look it up. Birchville Clark's his father's right, Google it. He's a devil. He's not a light-skinned Jamaican. So how in the hell are you going to tell me you're supposed to listen to him? He's not seed Abraham. How can you please see Abraham? Oh, it don't matter because God make you in the womb. Then what the hell do you need sperm and egg for? So what's goddamn bullshit? So he tells you, oh, don't worry about me. See, when I call him out, oh, don't worry about that because it didn't matter if my father's a devil. Well, we don't call him devils no more. He won't call his father a devil. A rapist devil at that, because he says his father raped his mama. I mean, his father not only just a, plus he's a rapist devil Jew. He's not his father a Jew. And a rapist. And a devil. That's what he says out of his mouth. That makes him what? A devil. And a Jew. He says Satan cast out Satan. Know what he said? Well, who do you think he's talking about? As he said Satan will be cast out Satan. That means he's a Satan. It says right in some edition he was after the ways of Satan. Because he's one of them. He says his grandparents are Jews. Portuguese Jews. And you following that dog? You better repent quick. That's up to you. I ain't asked for anything. I don't want your money. I ain't asked for a dime. I've been doing it for 30 some years. I haven't asked you a dime. I don't want anything. Your money. I'm just here. Right? Fulfill the promise made. The promise was made to Shabazz, but you came along. And like I said, my motivation is mostly sisters. Because they saved our nation. It was sisters, it was Levi's sisters too. They ain't nobody knew what the difference between them at the time. It was say, hey brother, put that seed in me. Had to sneak and do it. Had to sneak and do it. Because the devil, you had to get permission to sleep with your own women. If you pick two pounds of cotton there. I'll let you sleep with Sally on this weekend. And then so you say, oh man, well you want, so now one is killing you, so you're gonna break your back and do two. And then when Mass tells you, oh you could do two for her, how come you can't do two for me? So now you do two all the damn time. If you do three, you get, I mean, it's sick stuff that happened. And you got this sister, I don't know who she is, but I present her, and she's saying the same thing. I don't know if she's a Muslim or what, she's saying the same thing. People are sick. She's a historian. The stuff they would do, she said, the punishments, she went stuff that I haven't talked about. I said, I don't even want to talk about it because it make me sick even talking about it. How the kind of punishments they would put on, inflict on people with. And then we're going to be fist bumping them? They did that to our ancestors? Imagine if we did to ancestors. You think they'd be friendly with us? They did to our ancestors, we just fist bump like nothing ever happened. You'd pay a price for that. Cause see, when you get home, remember, people have to tune in. So you ain't be hiding anything. And not only that, but we'll have the technology look back into how things worked back then. I told you about these computers, but that's a whole other story. So you can't hide anything. When you get home, now you can hide. So you can go in there and lie and get in and then and say, oh, you was doing that? That was your attitude? Everlasting shame and parliament. You was beating up on the sisters? If you're doing that, you better repent fast. Better seek for forgiveness and hope they forgive you. Because I ain't. The stuff you was doing. You won't be able to hide. It's like the Quran says, you won't be able to hide anything. Nothing. So it's all going to come out. So if you slip through, a tribulation, that's not going to, right? You slipped into the lion's mouth. See? Then Suleiman comes to straighten you out. So it tells you right there, Farrakhan's a liar. He blaming us for what the devil's done. It's them. And the solution is to get away. If the wind is going, got you 50 mile an hour north wind, and that got you going northwest, if you got a 50 mile an hour eastern wind, which forces you to go northeast and you're going north, then the situation is either get away from that wind or stop the wind. In other words, get out of America. Get out. But we ain't going nowhere. And see, this is us right here. See? Our force is going all different vectors. We got to direct all. That means we have no power. Because if you got all the vectors going in one direction, right? That's like everybody got a force of 10. And you got 100 of you, that's 1,000 force in one direction. That's powerful. But if you're going all directions there, all they got to do is deal with each one of you individually. That's why keep all divided. Each one individually. That's easy. But you put it together, see the great army. And that's what the Levites got to achieve. Hajj, they got to achieve that. See? The Shabbats can go out like that. They go out the great army because they're going out to battle. They're going to take our land back. They leave out of the great army. I'm making it clear for you. You're the ones who got to achieve because you ain't there now. If four winds blow, they will come as a senior great army. If you're the senior great army, they would take you out too, but no, you got to stay right here. Right? That's the NOI, to get ready to raise the rest of the people. That you should have been doing. See, that was your mission when Elijah departed. He set you up. If you had kept doing that, our people would have, the rest of the Levites would have been ready now. And you didn't do that. Instead, you went out there and let Farrakhan punk you, got your head at Farrakhan's ass, and you think that with brown stuff is honey. And so your people out there are out with lack of knowledge. And then nobody wants to join the NOI anyway, because y'all like a bunch of fools over there. A laughing stock. Who want to be part of it? I wouldn't be part of it. I wouldn't be anywhere near it. I wouldn't anybody know I had anything to do with Farrakhan. but that didn't. But see now, once you're united, if you get united, they're going to be all direction, because they turn to dust or vapor, however you want to look at it. So now, but you're a force, a vertical force. So, because you're verticals, now they can do what you. But secondly, the point is, look what they're facing, and theirs all scattered. So it's like one man fighting against 100 united men. See, he pick up one at a time, let him move on. That's the same thing here, right? Okay, let's get this here. It says, let me see if I can make this a little bigger, brothers and sisters. Oh, that's not it. Oh, there you go. Make this a little bigger. See, it says, in other words, it's saying, those 10 horns, who 10 horns, that's China, India. And it says, right, they would hate the harlot. But it said, why did they hate the harlot? Hold on, brother, so I can see this right quick. It says, for the God gave it into the hearts of them to do his opinion. In other words, they're doing it because we want them to do it. They're our weapon. We're not be raping and them all that stuff they did to us. We're not gonna do that. We ain't like that type of people. They're our weapon. I told you, mental war. And so we have good. It says, put in their hearts, put in their minds. That's what it said. Put in their minds to be our weapon. And so we got two weapons against the demons and the 10 horns. They're the ones going to be our weapons against them. So you don't need any guns and all that kind of stuff. They got that. They have guns. You don't need that. You controlling them. It says we're controlling them. It says right there. We're controlling them. They are weapons against these. And they would find, they said they would, look what they do, and look what it says it be done against the Babylon in chapter 18. And then what they do. Same thing, because they're the ones doing it. They are weapons to do it. Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. We not be great. What's doing them is done to you. How? We were doing it. If they're our gun, if you take a gun and you shoot somebody, aren't you doing it? Using that. That's your tool. The gun's your tool. They're our tool to do all that stuff. Come out of our people. So how you going to do it personally if you coming out? They're the ones going to be doing it. I don't know if you understand that or not, so let me move on. Okay, I'm about to close out, brothers and sisters. And this is what Elijah said. This was in Muhammad Speak newspaper, brothers and sisters. I used to be a foreman at Muhammad Speak newspaper. And you see anything there about stand here? If you read this, he's telling people on the shore, you should have left with us, because now people on the shore, if you can see this, the devils are chasing the Negro bus with billy clubs beating their ass. See, you should have left with us. Pharaoh said, you're going to stay here? Well, I can see one of them. Will God separate? Yeah, we're going to separate from you. That's the ladder. Remember, the angel key is the ladder. And he built a ladder for you to get the hell out of here. Each step is a verse. But you got to climb that ladder. He's not climbing for you. If you can climb the ladder, you ain't going through tribulation. That's the tribulation, just climbing that ladder out of here. And that's what you have to do, because your mind has to be on that level to new reality. New reality be mathematics, justice, freedom, equality. That's all mathematical. Bullshit. And that's what angels is the gym to make you start thinking mathematically. And this is the plans they had against us. It says all the plans here. Let's make shrewd plans against your people. See? For behold, your enemies make you an uproar, and those who hate you have exalted themselves. They make shrewd plans against your people. They plan against you and conspire together against your treasure. All these nations are conspiring together, not just one, all of them. Because we're on the bottom. We're on the bottom. That means all the nations are on top of us. That means all of them on top of us. That means the point, the one on top is the most oppressive. That's the devils. They said, come, let's wipe them out as a nation. And I said, we're a nation. Do you look like a nation right now? They're broken up. They got you all divided against each other and everything else. So that the name of Israel will be no longer remembered. Trying to erase your memory. They already did partially. They tell you false Israel is you. Now it's not true. You Jacob. For they have conquered, conspired together with one mind. It's a mind war. And they got one mind, all directed at you. And Ishmaelites are part of it. So it takes Sunnism. Oh man, we got to be. He said, only Sunni is that golden calf stuff, and they tell you right here, your enemy. That's who Farrakhan is. So you messing around with Suleiman, that's a mistake. You can find a man, that's a mistake. That's a big mistake. I keep telling people you don't know me. And see here, sister, I'm gonna get close out, brown sister. Right out the box, fully loaded, everything. Them the accessories, all comes everything. You buy everything's loaded. Power steering, you know, wheels, right? Power windows, right? Salad, everything. GPS is all in there. Oh, it's all there. But this come out stripped down version. You gotta add the ass. What you need? Oh, we add ass, add some lips, add some breasts, add some hair thickener, add some skin darkener. You don't get it? And then they wear their pants so damn tight. So make sure you understand that I got an ass now. We ain't gotta do that. And some of these Negroes, Negro must have the women out there all naked and everything else. Why would you do that? You don't treasure them? When you treasure something, you don't treat it like that. You protect it, you cover it up. It's because it's treasure. Anybody wants, you know, well, I ain't moving on more because I'm going to say you mistranslated. See here, look at her. I told you, look at her. She's naked. She's naked over here. They walk out the street like this. And they claim us. I told you, they the vectors that's causing all this shit. They're the vectors, that's them. We ain't making them dress like that. That's where they dress. That's who they are. And then they got you trying to be like them, they trying to be like you, so it's trying to trace your tail. Right? Look at this. Here, she looking back at you. She trying to be like you. And then they got you foolish and they'll try to be like them. That's who's trying to be like you. And you don't need to be like them because you got everything. There's nothing fake here. Nothing fake here. She don't need to show all these tight pants on. Hell, she could put on a robe and still, man, them outlines going to show up. She don't need to emphasize it. You don't emphasize something that's limited. Because emphasize it. That's why emphasize it, make it look more than what it is. Because it's nothing. That's when you emphasize something. You emphasize that over there. That's why you can put the pants so tight. See that? So you know it's a butt, even though it's fake. Bustles. Go look up a bustle. You just walk around fake asses. Did a cartoon one time where the woman, she got home and she took her clothes off and all of a sudden ass was gone, breast was gone. She's like a straight stick, like olive oil and Popeye, straight stick. What happened? Next thing he out did raping a slave girl because they would love that women more than theirs, and they should never touch that women. I don't care, they leave right or sure, I should never touch that women. That's what the wrath is coming on your ass for. That's what got me wrathful with you. You just did to us, okay, that'd have been a man on man thing, and we could fight it out. But you don't mess with our women. It's like messing with our mamas and our daughters. You don't do that, and you did that mistake. And you did it in our face. Then sometimes you even forced to even help you. And I ain't forgiving a goddamn thing. And these people, girls out here, they better wake up. Because they would be in trouble if they don't wake up quick. Because I ain't blaming them. But still, no, man, at some point, you know, whoa. You say, wait a minute, hold it now. You knew they did this, and all this stuff they're doing, they raping, and they was your ancestors, and then you don't give a damn about your ancestors? Only reason why you here, because your ancestors, that was their hope. That's why I should say, give me a seed, brother. Because one day, our great-grandchildren, great-grandchildren, whatever, one day, they're going to avenge us. That was their hope. That's the only hope they had. And now here you are, got your head firmly up master's ass. Master's name, master's religion, everything else. Fist bumping master. Okay, brothers. Look at this. This is sick. That's what you know. She'll feel no shame. It's like animals don't feel shame. She'll feel no shame. No. She's naked. Okay, close now, brothers and sisters. Promised land. Farrakhan, we ain't going nowhere. Elijah Muhammad, he called Elijah Muhammad a liar. But now people start waking up, boy, look at, that's what they fear. Our folks united and coming at them for revenge. That's their fear. I'm closed out, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.